I haven't been able to see quite enough of Snapdragon just yet, but not picking Chip just seems like a bad idea. Without further ado though, we're going to be jumping into our draft for game number 1. Fnatic Onyx on the blue side, RRQ Hoshi on the red side, and it seems like quite a few heroes have already been picked up.
Wow, okay, there you go. The first ever heroes to be put as a prioritized is Alpha. And you know, if you have King Kong with Alpha, it's gonna be a danger zone. But other than that, they also picked up Harvit as well as Gato Kacha. Great AoE, great going in for the XP lane as well. Now, RRQ Hoshi, they responded with Valentina as well as Cho. I mean, I know for a fact that you want to make sure that you can actually pick up Alpha, maybe with the Ways of Dragon. You can make sure that you can shut him down for a while, but it's gonna be a little bit risky. But other than that, Xbox with the readjustment as well, you know for a fact that Xbox is also a really good burst heroes that can actually put you down with a lot of damage. So RRQ Hoshi, I like the idea being put out here for the draftings.
Yeah, so far so good, with Fnatic Onyx going for the priority on Alpha since Suyo was already banned out. Alpha has been getting a lot more priority because of his ability to fight as early in the game as possible. RQ decided to respond with a bit more of a safe opening by grabbing the Valentina and the Cho so that they have a way of picking off the Alpha, like you mentioned with the Way of the Dragon, but also to deny bigger ultimates with the Valentina. Onyx did take the Gatot and the Harith. The reason you take these together is because the Avatar, the Guardian, is really good at denying Zaman Force away. But with Valentina around, RQ can still deal with that somewhat. And the Hilda we talked about earlier, going to be picked up for RQ.
Oh, wow. I mean, okay, let's take a look on the ban side, okay? We already see RRQ Hoshi, great respawn coming in, and Hilda-wise, the question is, can they actually time it very wide to actually shut down every movement coming in from King Kong? Because again, with the meta from the side of Hilda, the skill 2 is very useful for the side of RRQ Hoshi. If you really mess around with all the resources that King Kong needs, that would be really good. On the other side, we do see Onyx picking up Edith, also a really good coming in for the side of Fnatic Onyx PH, and they also have Vexana on the line. More AoE, much more going in control wise for the team of Fnatic Onyx PH right now.
Yeah, Vexana is basically the only real mid option Onyx has left over since Loi was banned out, and Aurora isn't actually very good at dealing with heroes like Cho and Xborg, so having that Terrified maybe handle the Hilda diving on top of you makes a bit more sense. And with the Edith setup, there's good damage potential overall on the side of Fnatic Onyx. RQ Hoshi going to give Skylar his classic claw though. So they are leaning more into late game scaling and just expecting the pressure and hold the early stages with the Hilda and Export.
Oh, I do agree on that. Seriously, RRQ Hoshi so far right now, really good response. It's just how they're gonna be able to control all the aggression that will be put out by Fnatic Onyx Philippines for the time being on the early mid. That's the crucial point right now, because we are going to see the fight between Skylar as well as the fact that definitely King Kong will try to mess things around. The invasion, are they going to deny it? Will RRQ Hoshi be able to control it wise? And will the help of Edith as well as Gato Kacha on the line, it will boost up even the momentum of Fnatic Onyx. But so far right now on drafting wise, I gotta say both side has a really good potential. It's even up for a while for the respawn wise. The question is, coming into the mid game, who are going to be able to stand out? But this is it, guys. This is the first series, the big series of our 2-0 bracket between Indonesia versus Philippines. It is going to be RRQ Hoshi versus Fnatic Onyx.
This is going to be a game to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, the global series right around the corner. So establishing dominance here in the Snapdragon stage is going to set up that momentum you need for the rest of the year. And I think the drafts that we have here exactly suit the styles that Indonesia and Philippines are known for, with this side of Indonesia wanting to go for a little bit more of that early game and maybe set things up, while Fnatic Onyx, we know that they want to be able to take control of that mid game and just slowly tighten the grip around their opponents.
Agree, definitely. All right, so far, so smooth. A great cover coming in. I mean, we do see invasion coming in between Susujin as well as Kyler. Kyler are gonna be in the pick right now. Oh, almost close enough to be tagged out, but with a dash, he still managed to survive it out. And we do see at least Brusco is on the light side. Whatever it is, he'll be able to be backed up. But that was a really too close to tell whether or not RRQ Hoshi was able to be taken down our one Kelra. But nevertheless, he'll still be able to hold the ground, and he had to back away to recall himself.
Sujin, it's expected that he's going to be putting a little bit more attention towards the gold lane here, but in the mid lane, Risco taking quite a lot of damage himself.
Oh, coming in, and now we do see the first fight coming in by Kurt, taking down Darren first. The attempts coming in from Darren try to shut down Fnatic. Onyx is not gonna be able to do so now. Edog and Rince gonna wait it out for Susujin to be actually hold it out. But this turtle is already in the hands of Kikon, and now they're gonna pushing in for the script itself. Kikon takes out Edog immediately with the Spirit of Alpha. Now pushing straight away to the side of the one and only Susujin, but doesn't manage to put it. But that was already a good win with one kill on the side, as well as the turtle to be taken into Fnatic Onyx.
It is very much expected that Fnatic Onyx should control the early game with an Alpha, Edith, and Gatot Kacha. It's a lot easier for them to take control of objectives, and they just have generally more damage compared to RRQ Hoshi. For RRQ, they gotta hold the early game and focus on giving as much farm to Rince and Skylar as possible, with the Claude being the more obvious. That's why you're going to see a little bit more ganking towards the gold lane to make sure that Claude wins out against the Harith, because usually Harith is the winner here in this 1v1 lane matchup.
Oh, that's totally agree. And here on out, we do see a 1v1 matchup coming in from Kurt as well as Diren. Airborne comes through, and now Kurt's trying to do it damage as much as he could. But I mean, you're talking about fighting off with Diren. I mean, a lot of the mobility-wise, survival and sustainability coming in from him. It's not going to be easy. Attempts coming in from the side of Kurt himself, but he's still not giving up. But he's got to be careful. Along the side of RRQ is going to be Susujin is just overlooking. And it seems that King Kong gets the input as well, and they will deny it as well. Now Rince moving away as quickly as possible before being tagged out. At least a reposition is a good in favor coming in from RRQ, but they really gotta hold off for a while because the aggression being put out by Fnatic Onyx at the moment right now, it's really scary.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad for Tyron because when you are on a Hilda, you're usually the one causing havoc and pressure on the map. But because Onyx just has so much early game damage and they're dealing with an alpha jungle, the Hilda cannot actually invade to try and disrupt King Kong. He just has to try and win out a lane priority, which is already kind of difficult against an Edith, so that they can roam and actually stop Onyx from being overly aggressive on other parts of the map. Unfortunately, Onyx not really being stopped by that. They're going to start contesting the turtle in Sunsujin.
Oh, coming in straight with the Spirit of Alpha, pushing in straight. Airborne comes through. Darren trying to push it straight away to King Kong, but doesn't manage to get the kill he's needed. He's not getting a lot of damage, but the turtle has already been picked up and pushing in right now. Is trying to push in, but RRQ Hoshi doesn't get the target that they needed. Fnatic on it, they're gonna actually get away already. They already got what they needed, but damage comes through from Susujin. Double kill taking down Kirk as well as the side of Brusco. Now that's what is needed coming in for the side of RRQ, but at the same time, this is gonna be tough for the side of Team Fnatic Onyx, as at least RRQ Hoshi gets the trade that they needed.
That is exactly what RRQ Hoshi is looking for, and actually a massive win, because up until now I have been mentioning that Fnatic Onyx should be stronger at this stage of the game. They just have more presence and damage overall, but extended the team fight a little bit too far, and RRQ beautifully managed their resources and positioning, playing around the healing being provided by the Revitalize so that they could prolong the fight and then re-enter once Onyx had overextended in the mid lane. Because of that, Susujin now has a little bit of an EXP lead against King Kong, and RQ has even up the net worth difference. As long as they keep the gold even and Skylar does not die, this game is going in their favor.
Agree, definitely. And a little bit stronger coming in from the side of Darren. This is where no matter how much you try to put out of potential to fight off with Kurt, it's still not enough. And going into the side of Susujin, I agree on the note that now he's actually in a very good advantage. Hopefully RRQ Hoshi can be potentially to cover and control the movement that they are required right now to move in into the mid game. And so far right now, we do see that Team Fnatic Onyx is gonna actually try to team up right at the top, gonna actually try to give a lot of pressure to Skylar as well as Ido, but it will be denied instantly. Team RRQ Hoshi, really good grounding, really good coverage right now for both teams. It's really tie up for both of the teams right now.
Yeah, like we mentioned, gold lane going to get a lot of attention to it because if Onyx can unlock Kelra and have him start gaining gold from assists, it accelerates their snowball so much further while stopping Skylar. But RQ not letting that happen.
Oh, they're not letting it happen as well. They're contesting for the turtle as well. Darren coming in for the push of Brusco. Suzuki takes down and get the turtle instead. But at the moment right now, they will be trying to go in for the skirmish. Not done yet. Going in for the push to the side of Rins. Rins had to pull away with Suzuki having so much damage to put out. They had to reposition, but it's a good move. Skylar almost been tagged out. Now Darren coming in for the backline. Dead matter to take down. This is Zaman Post coming through and Rin takes down Kilra immediately. Now pushing on straight. Darren doesn't have much damage and they had to pull away. A really good win, but Super Frizz comes along with the trade and King Kong shuts down Sujin immediately with what cost they have. Even though getting the turtle is a 2 trades coming in from the side of Fnatic on it. But Jiren, he seems like Kurt trying to get as much as kill as possible. He wants to go in for the push, but still, it was a good cause. They still managed to push away without any casualty, but the trade is still the same for Fnatic Onyx as well as Philippine.
Yeah, that trade initially looked incredible for RRQ Hoshi. Again, beautifully managing their positioning, but this time it was them who prolonged the fight a little bit too far and underestimated the DPS.
Oh, coming in for a fight as the moment right now, we do see Katokacha coming in, but at the same time, it's not going to pull anything with that Avatar Guardian. Team Fnatic Onyx will be able to pull away for those fight. Even this fight, the fact that RRQ Hoshi was not been pulled in. But at the same time, RRQ Hoshi, great position, great respawn-wise. So far, they know how to actually have a really good space between Fnatic Onyx, and that's what is needed. Even on the ground-wise, they did manage to actually trade off between the two turrets from the top as well as mid lane. Here on out, Team RRQ Hoshi, at least on the cover ground of the map, is still in their hands.
Even though Onyx was able to get some good kills in that previous fight, remember the win condition we mentioned. As long as RRQ Hoshi keeps the gold somewhat even until the late game, they are actually in the lead. And the gold difference right now, very, very small. Only about 1,000 in favor of Fnatic Onyx Philippines. In comparison, RRQ will scale way better, and they're going to play for that timing.
Oh, they're gonna pay from starting. Avatar Guardian coming in for the push. At the moment right now, King Kong had to pull his, but so much damage coming in. But Skylar takes down Sprints immediately and Riz shuts down Brusco. Kara been stuck in the middle, will be taken out by Ito with the Waves of Dragon. But King Kong trying to survive with the Spear of Alpha, trying to move away, but Riz taking out Kurt. And it's gonna be Darren to push in with the last explosion, shutting him down with the sacrificer kill. But that's needed already from the side of RRQ just to take down, getting the team wiped out. Desirable in RRQ Hoshi hands.
Fnatic Onyx went for a slightly over-aggressive position around the Lord Pit. At this stage of the game, it's understandable. They still have control, they still have damage, but RRQ, I've been seeing their micro movements, and it has been very, very impressive the way that they're dodging Avatar the Guardian every single time, making use of iframes, and Edok as well, finding Super Prince in the backline and kicking him into the Blazing Duet, thereby funneling the entirety of Fnatic Onyx into a small area where Skylar can do the most damage. He also now has the most gold in the game. RQ, with a 2k net worth lead now at 10 minutes, are very poised to take this game if Onyx are not able to find an equalizer.
Now let's see. They're gonna go in straight to the bottom side. Doesn't spot anyone. It seems that Edo trying to find a way to actually go into the backline first of all, but at the same time will be denied by Super Friends, not allowing any extension coming in from the RRQ Hoshi. Lords is marching in. King Kong right at the front side. It seems that Darren will be at the backline. Doesn't spot anyone just yet, but they don't know who they want to go in. Rins overlooking straight, try to pull away, but Skylar takes down the turret immediately. But they deny it. They're actually having a little bit of hesitant, try to pull into the Fnatic Onyx, and this is the reason why Fnatic Onyx having a really good defense wise so far. And Team RRQ Hoshi, they couldn't find the opening they needed, so at least on the side of Fnatic Onyx, they still be able to neutralize all the lords and the wave that coming their way.
But they're not able to neutralize the gold advantage. RRQ is now controlling the entirety of the map, and they have successfully taken every exterior tower from the side of Fnatic Onyx, leaving only the inhibitors behind. While Onyx is pretty strong as a 5-man death ball, RRQ Hoshi's lineup is designed quite well to be able to split up the map and even play for pickoffs. So they're gonna continue doing so and see if they can bait out individual members of Fnatic Onyx. And if they're able to continue doing that, it's gonna be quite difficult for our Filipino champions.
Let's see. King Kong trying to find a way to break to RRQ. So far, Brusco just waiting for the right time. The fact that RRQ, I like the positioning wise, they're denying every avatar guidance been put out by Brusco. And that's the reason why it's not in the favor of Fnatic Onyx every time they go into team fights. So that's the motion where we're seeing RRQ Hoshi positioning wise is very important for their keys. Now, Kara trying to actually bait out RRQ, trying to actually pull them in. And the best part about it is that team RRQ, they don't need to worry about anything. They're literally prioritizing on the lane side. As long as they allow those waves come in and keep giving pressure to Fnatic Onyx, it's still gonna be in their favor.
It's a very interesting picture to see here because we typically expect PH teams to always be superior in terms of macro, but because of the draft matchup for this game in particular, RRQ Hoshi are taking care of that incredibly well since all of their heroes are either durable on their own or have built-in escape mechanisms so that they are able to split push waves without needing to worry too much about getting ganked. Not to mention that Kirk is the only really reliable form of CC that Fnatic Onyx has. He has to find Skylar, and that is after baiting out a Purify. Otherwise, RRQ Hoshi just has so many ways of controlling team fights.
Oh, going in straight for the Waves of Dragon, taking down Kikong. So much damage put out. Spear of Alpha pushing in, try to give as much pressure, but it's not going to do anything as they push into Brusco instead. Getting double kill from the Rise of Rings, but at the same time, Reese is a little bit overextension, had to be shut down by Kara with the Zaman Force. But at the same time, right here, we do see Susujin going to go in for all the burst that is required, but it's not going to be enough. That trade's coming in 2-2-1, and they're going to push it all out to the side of Kurt, as well as going into Kara, immediately shutting him down and going in with the power of wilderness, a little bit overextension to the side of Jiren, but Kurt still survive it out. Prince takes down E-Dot immediately. This Lord is smashing in a really good overextension, has given that advantage to the side of Fnatic Onyx. But at the same time, Susujin overlooking to the side of Prince, but here on now, Kurt picks him up immediately as Susujin had to back away, having so much damage, and in the end, the Lord, a little bit those overextension is giving those potential to Fnatic Onyx to reverse this back, the effect into RRQ Hoshi.
I really like the decision that was made by RRQ to just rush in and try to take out the remaining members so that they could end the game with the Lord. Unfortunately, they went a little bit too far, and Kirk was luckily able to survive with a tiny bit of HP, because if the Eden had gone down, RRQ would have definitely ended the game right there and then. With that though, that does give Onyx a little bit more breathing room, but they only have one inhibitor on very low HP to hold on to. Whatever happens, this next Lord must go into their hands, or RRQ should be able to quite easily whittle down the crystal.
Right, 81 seconds to go for the Lord. Is either they will try to actually push those team fights, or will they actually try to go in for the team fights along that Lord lane? But here on out, E-Dog is just trying to overlook. He will try to find a way to actually pick it up. Rinse, a little bit overextension will be denied by Super Friends. And not only that, they're pushing in straight away, giving a lot of damage. They're going to actually push on for that last turret immediately, but not going to be doing it a lot of favor, but just need one more push. Will be denied instantly by Fnatic. Just one more hit could have actually got that turret, but in the end, Fnatic still giving a lot of pressure, not allowing RRQ Hoshi to even come in.
Yeah, Skylar tried to go in with the BMI for one last hit on the tower, but we have to remember, in the patch, they updated the tower so that they are just super tanky if you don't have minions nearby. In the past, a single hit would have actually taken that down, but that's no longer viable. Regardless though, I think RRQ are in a very, very comfortable position. Right now, Skylar going to be doing a lot of damage, and because there isn't enough ways for Fnatic Onyx to force out his Purify, he can actually position himself very aggressively without needing to be worried about being CC chained. He has 0 deaths so far, and the Lord is coming up. Fnatic Onyx need this, or they need to at least slow it down. With only one tower standing, if RRQ pushes in with this and a Claude, the game is basically over.
It is. Coming in right now, we do see King Kong trying to push into Duran, but at the same time, a little bit overextension coming to Edo with the Waves of Dragon. Didn't pick up anyone, but Skyler will be able to take down Kerr first of all, and getting double kill to the side of Brusco. Susujin take down Killer immediately, and King Kong, the overextension that was done by the side of Fnatic Onyx, will be punished from RRQ Hoshi, and unfortunately, they will go in straight into the grounds of this site. Despite the fact Duran had to be sacrificed, but it's already a done deal for the side of Team RRQ Hoshi. They will be able to get this first game in the hands of Indonesia.
An unexpected result, but one that we already considered as a